So I get the question all the time, and especially this week, a lot of inbox messages. Dr. Zeb, what's your morning routine? Well, what's your diet routine? And I want to share that. I think it's important to have a routine. I'm going to explain why. Let's check it out. What's up, everybody? This is Dr. Zeb, your everyday life coach, and I provide you with practical tools for daily living so that you can transform tomorrow today. I want to talk to you about my daily routine. It's really not weird, I guess, but just got a lot of inbox messages this past week. I'm back on to providing 2 videos every single week. I try to have them uploaded every Tuesday and Thursday. But just last week, got several different inbox messages from people asking about my diet routine, my morning routine in terms of what I get up from the time I get up to the time that I lay down and what that looks like. And I want to talk a little bit about both of those things because I think it might be helpful to someone, based on just the feedback that I've received. I will say this from the start. It is so important that you have a daily routine. Daily routines help to stabilize you. They really do. I'm also a person who has historically always been very structured. Though over the last couple of years, I've really learned how to embrace, spontaneity. In fact, this past weekend was one of the most spontaneous weekends I've had in a very long time. It was a great weekend, a lot of fun. But man, I had no idea I'd be doing the things I was doing in places that I was going. And it was just so random how everything was happening. It was really cool. But that's always sprinkled into having an organized structure, especially Monday through Friday, right? Having 2 small children. And work and all of these responsibilities that I do have, it's so important to have organization and structure because that structure helps to keep you stabilized and it helps to keep you focused and helps to keep you present in each moment when you know you have things you have to accomplish on a day-to-day basis. And from a health and wellness perspective, it also helps you stay mentally clear and mentally fresh. And I think that's also one of the just great benefits of having a daily routine, in that if you commit to a routine every single day, you really will find yourself, from a mental clarity standpoint, just being so much stronger and more energized. And that's always been something that's been helpful for me. I've historically always gotten up every morning or woke up every morning at a very early time historically, but it seems like the older I get, the earlier I wake up every day. Now I wake up every morning at 4:28 a.m. Now, I was just playing with this last week, and last week I was getting up at 4:03 every day because I needed to get some extra things done throughout my day. I had a very busy week, and the extra, 25 minutes of wake up time actually goes a long way when I'm trying to now add back into my morning routine, my 2-mile walk, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. In addition to working out and everything else that I do. And so time is very precious when I get up in the morning. And sometimes you have those mornings where you hit the snooze button. That's okay. And you hit snooze and it'll snooze for maybe like 8 minutes. That's okay. But if you factor in some time to maybe hit the snooze button every now and then, the time that you wake up in the morning is critically important, and you want to set that well so that you can accomplish everything that you're looking to do on a daily basis. And so for me, it's getting up early in the morning. I think it's so important that you get up early so that you have time to do the things that you really need to do. But most importantly, you have time to really set yourself and set your mood and set your energy and your spirit for the day. That's so very important. So, 4:28, 4:03, I get up in the morning. The very first thing that I do is I pray. Literally roll over on my knees and I pray. That's very important to me. Prayer is a stabilizing force in my life. I think prayer works. And I recognize that not all the people that watch my channel believe in God. Some of you believe in other things. That's on you. This is not a video to convince you one way or the other. Not this video. We're not going to do that. But I think prayer is so essential for me, because praying to God and asking God for, first of all, thanking Him, but then also asking Him for guidance and strength throughout the day, and even setting my intentions for the day with Him is so important. That's a very first important step that I do. You hear my ESPN app notifying me. So that's very important to me. So that's the first thing that I do. And then after I do that, I get up. I literally make up my bed. And let's say if I get up at 4:03. By the time I pray, it's typically about 4:08, 4:09, right? 5, 6 minutes. I make up my bed, and then I go in the restroom and use the restroom. Won't get too gruesome in the details with that, but I use the restroom. But I also, put on my workout clothes, because that's typically going to be the activity that I'm going to do when I come downstairs from my bedroom. But while I am using the restroom, I'll typically have my iPad and I do read something. It might be a Bible verse. It might be some notes that maybe I prepared in my digital journal, or sometimes I'll have my physical journal there and I'll read some things that morning while my mind is still somewhat groggy. That is actually one of those times where your mind and your spirit and your energy is really receptive to things. And so this is why it's important when you wake up every morning, the first thing that you do should be very intentional. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is they grab their phone and then they go to social media and they start scrolling. And what you don't realize is that when you wake up in the morning, when you grab your phone as a first priority, what you are scrolling into your spirit is everything else that all these people got going on. And I'm not saying that everything you see on social media is bad, but what I am suggesting is you should be very intentional to get to that later, right? This is just what I do. I don't make it my business I don't even check my phone. I don't check my text messages. I don't check social media. I don't do any of that yet. I'm gonna get to that in a second. The very first thing that I do is I'll hit my phone to stop my alarm. I pray, go in the restroom. While I'm using the restroom, have my iPad or my journal there, reading over some notes. It's typically dark. I've got a candle light in there, so that's enough light. The iPad light is enough light. So I use the restroom. So normally by the time I do that and get downstairs, it's about 4:30, okay? When I get downstairs at 4:30, the next thing that I do is meditate. I have a space in my living room. Right now it's got a Christmas tree in there. Yes, we put up our Christmas tree. The kids and I put up our Christmas tree 2 weeks ago, so we were really early this year. But I sit in a space. There's a space that I sit there on one of my sofa chairs that I sit, and I do 30 minutes of meditation, and it's literally 30 minutes of just sitting in silence. And so from about 4:30 to about 5:05, I literally am sitting in my seat and I meditate for 30 minutes. This is a daily routine for me, even on the weekends, unless I'm traveling. If I'm traveling, sometimes I won't do it. I'll sleep in on Saturdays or something like that. But sometimes I do meditate when I'm on the road and I'm traveling. It just depends on the trip and what I've got going on. But this is solid for me every Sunday through Friday, or every Sunday through Saturday. It's pretty solid for me. I believe in meditation. Meditation is simply just quieting and stilling the mind. And it really helps you to focus in the present throughout your day. If you can sit there for 30 minutes and think about nothing but sitting there, and think about nothing but where you are and what you're doing at the time, and reel in all of your emotions and all of your wild thoughts about all kinds of different things, and just bring that into that moment and do that for 30 minutes, you'd be shocked at how during the day, how you will be able to go through your task, go through the things that you do, and be still and present during those tasks and as you're completing those tasks. And so that's what meditation does. Meditation teaches you how to be present. It really does. It's an exercise of mindfulness that teaches you how to be present in every moment that you're in. So I do that for 30 minutes. When I do that, I'm in the dark, by the way. And once I do that, then I cut on the light and I cut on my computer and I put on my shoes. I've got all my workout clothes on, and then I work out. And typically my workouts are anywhere from 32 minutes on the short end to 40 minutes, 42 minutes on the long end. I do workout tapes. I know some people go to the gym. It's okay if you go to the gym here, get in the car and go to the gym, but I like to work out at home. Me working out is pretty ugly. I don't like to be around other people because it's an ugly experience. Ain't nothing cute about getting in shape, at least not to me. But I work out, and it's typically, again, 30 to 40 minutes. And so by 5:05, I've started my workout. So typically at the absolute latest, 5:45, I'm done working out, all right? So I'm done working out at about 5:45 at the latest. After I work out, now that we are on daylight savings time, typically by around that time, 5:50, you'll start to see, the sun starting to rise, right? It's still somewhat dark, but it's not, especially if you live in a lighted neighborhood, it's not too dark where you can't get outside and walk. And so now you reincorporated my 2-mile walk. And so normally by 5:50, 6 o'clock at the latest, I am out and I do my 2-mile walk. And I've got a time where I can walk around my neighborhood. And if I do this one path that's around my neighborhood that I timed on my watch, or measured rather on my Apple Watch, I've got a path that by the time I get around it, it's 2 miles back to my house, almost to the doorstep. And so I incorporate that. So I will have worked out for 30 to 40 minutes. I'd already prayed and meditated. And then I do a 2-mile walk. And I'll typically have on headphones listening to music, sometimes YouTube videos, inspirational tapes. Just depends on the mood that I'm in. Sometimes nothing. Sometimes I'm walking around and I'm literally listening to nothing. I'm using that as an opportunity to just set my mind and set my mood and set my energy for the day. And it's good to be in that present moment. You know, you start to hear the birds starting to sing and you're just in the present moment, and it really does a lot to just relax your energy and get you prepared and prepped for the day ahead. So by the time I get back, where was I? 5:45, 6 o'clock, 6:30 at the latest, right? And I'm just adding an additional 10, 15 minutes into the timing if you're following this. By 6:30, I'm normally back at the house. And that's perfect time, because then at 6:30, I typically get my kids up between 6:30 and 7, depends on, you know, the night or the evening before, if we had a long night, if we had to go out and do something, whatever. But typically by 7 at the latest, they're up. And so I may have 30 minutes of spare time there between 6:30 and 7. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make my protein shake. And I do 2 different types of shake. I do the shakes where you just add water to the protein, and I tend to do shakes that are not veggie shakes. What are they called? It's not coming to me. I do shakes that are definitely low in sugar. It's not coming to me right now. I'll see if I can figure it out and maybe drop it in the description, the types of shakes that I do. But I'll do a shake kind of shake with just adding water. And then sometimes I will make a blended shake, right, with greens and frozen vegetables. I'm sorry, frozen fruit and greens and carrots and Greek yogurt and all of that stuff, almond milk. I'll do that. And I'll have that prepared. And then also while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and make the kids' lunch. And the kids' lunch takes me about 8 to 10 minutes to make, to pack their lunch. Though they're bougie eating kids. They eat salads. They eat way better than I eat. And I'm grown and I work. But I'll do all of that. So normally between 6:30 and 7, I'm able to get all of those things in. Shakes, protein shake, mixed shake, or processed shake. Kids' lunch takes about 30 minutes. And then I'll get the kids up at the latest, 7 o'clock, get them up, and then I jump in the shower. And while I'm in the shower, I want to mention this about being in the shower. I take cold showers in the morning, not fully cold all the time. I have, especially when I first started doing this. And I had a video where I talked about, it's one of my earliest videos when I first started my channel. I talked about the power of taking cold showers. It was a part of my routine. It was one of the things that I learned that really, shifted my life. And there's a lot of research out there that talks about the benefits, the physical benefits of taking a cold shower. This thing really hit me because I was out of the country one year. It wasn't last year, it was year before last. I went out of the country. I was in Punta Cana, and I did a Turkish bath thing at the spa. And it was a hot cold treatment. And what was so crazy is when I was in the steam room, the steam room, I was burning up. And then they said, go get plunge in this water. And they put you in this water that had ice in it. And I was like, oh my God, I've never been in ice water. And I'm a former athlete. I've never taken an ice bath before. But I got in this water, and yes, it was cold. But when when I got over the shock of the cold water, when I came out of the water, y'all, I can't even explain how I felt. I felt like I was floating. My body, my bones, my skin, even the blood running in my veins, I felt like I was floating. It's something about that cold water that really energizes you and resets you and refreshes you. And so ever since then, I've incorporated that into, especially during the week. Weekends, I may just take hot showers. I don't really necessarily have to go into an office job or whatever. I may do some work from home. But I'll typically just take hot showers during the weekend. Sometimes I'll mix it up. But during the week, I may either do all cold showers, or if that's too much for you, I've done this especially since it's been cold here lately. Take your hot shower, as you bathe or whatever, because it's actually better to bathe in hot water, obviously, because hot water is going to clean you better than cold. But then before you get out, after you've rinsed, you've got all the soap off of you, then turn the knob on cold and stand in it for 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, you may be saying to yourself, Dr. Zeb, I can't, I can't stand in cold water. I'm telling you, it will change your life. And literally, by the time I get out of the shower, it's 7:20 at the latest, I get out and I'm energized. I walk in the office and I've got energy from day one, or I attack my task for the day and I've got energy from day one. And people always ask, how do you have all this energy? It's 8 in the morning, you got all this energy. It's because typically from 4 in the morning till 8, I have done more from 4 to 8 than a lot of people do from 9 to 5. And I've got to really shout out Diddy. He would never probably see this video. I don't know, he may. But he used to have a show back in the day called Making the Band. And one of the things that I thought was so impressive about getting to know him as he was putting together this band was how he talked about how he would get up at 2 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning every day, work out, he'd be in the office. He talked about working when people were sleeping. And that really resonated with me many years ago when that show came out. And so when I got my first apartment, I started to incorporate that. I obviously wasn't getting up at 4 in the morning at that time. I was getting up more like at 6. But it seems like the older I get, the more responsibilities I get, the more I manage, the more that I have to do, the earlier the time gets. Because I have to try to get all of these things done. But that cold shower is clutch. I'm telling you, just try it. Just take my word for it. Try it. You're going to be cold the first couple of times. It might be a little unbearable. You may not make 5 minutes. You may make 60 seconds. You may just make 30 seconds. Try it. But I'm telling you, as your body gets used to it, it's something about that switching from hot to cold that sends really sensations through you that really calms you. And by the time you take that and add meditation and everything else you've done, you're gonna step out of that shower and you're gonna be ready to hit your day. Now, I will say there's some other things that I do. Sometimes I do it, I wait until I get to the office to do it. Sometimes I'm able to insert it while I'm drinking my shake, especially if I've got extra time. And that's journal too. I'm an avid journaler. If you followed me for any period of time, you know I believe in journaling wholeheartedly. And so in my journal, every single day, let me take that back. No, every single day. Even on weekends. I journal and I always write 5 things that I'm grateful for. You can actually see, if you look at my 28-day challenge, I'll put the link in the description. You can check that out. I talk about ways you can journal and ways that I journal. And the 28-day challenge, I really break down things that you can do as a part of your daily journaling. And one of the things that I always do is write down 5 things I'm grateful for. I write down affirmation statements that I say every day, that I write down, that I really focus on every day. I believe in those things because it really just ensures that I set and affirm what I intend to receive on a daily basis. And that's my routine, and it gets me going, and I go. I won't go through my entire day, but I wanted to at least talk about my morning routine because many people, again, I had several people, I was shocked, maybe 5 or 6 people reach out this week. What do you do every morning? Like, how do you get all this stuff in? You're doing all these videos. What do you do? You talk about getting up at 4 or something every morning. What do you do? I wanted to share this routine with you because, again, I think routines are so critical to us being able to accomplish great things in our lives. But more than that, it is the routine that helps to bring about stability in our lives and bring about stability in our energy and our ways of thinking. It is routines that help us to stay present in the moment. I also sprinkle out throughout my day opportunities when I get a break to read. If I have thoughts, I always carry my journals with me so I can add additional words in my journals or thoughts in my journal. If you have the ability to work and listen to music or things where you work, I'll have YouTube sometimes in my headphones in my office or playing out in the loudspeakers. Sometimes I'm listening to motivational things or sometimes it's just music, or sometimes I'll just have Hulu on in the background and I can hear First Take or different things like that. It's really through meditation and starting your day in an organized way that you learn over time how to be present in each moment. And it's that being present in each moment that allows you to show up energized and ready to dominate your day. All right, so I hope this was helpful. I wanted to share this for the handful of people that did reach out and ask about it. It's an easy video for me to make. I don't have any notes here because I really have this routine down. But try this. Try a routine like that. Figure out what your routine is. Some of you may work out at night instead of in the morning. I've never been a person that has enjoyed evening workouts. I like doing everything in the morning. The morning workouts for me help to get me energized as well because we obviously know the benefits of exercise. But also the benefits of what that does for your moods, right? Research says that people who exercise more and diet well tend to be more pleasant people, right? Their moods tend to be more pleasant. I believe that totally, wholeheartedly. I've gone weeks and months, even sometimes when I would take workout breaks, without working out, without journaling, without eating right, and my moods will be all over the place. Sugar will have your moods. Sugar will have you dreaming some of the craziest dreams ever. Right? So diet, there's a lot of credibility to that. But if you have a routine, if you try to work out and exercise for at least 30 minutes a day, or for at least 30 minutes a day, 4 to 5 times a week. If you're more of an advanced exerciser like me, you may do 6 weeks. I do 6 days every week consistently, unless I'm traveling or on vacation. So it's a Monday through Saturday for me every single week. But if you at least did 4 to 5 days a week of exercise, combined with eating healthy during the week, Monday through Friday at minimum. Take the weekends. I'm pretty consistent on my working or my dieting Monday through half day Saturday, and then the rest of the day Saturday, all day Sunday, I eat what I want to eat, and it really balances my metabolism out. As you can see, I'm my high school weight, doing well, feel great, great shape. But that balance is really important, right? Your body appreciates the injection, believe it or not, of the foods that you enjoy every now and then. But it has to be in moderation, and the moderation is doing the right thing Monday through half day Saturday. So come up with a routine that works for you. But if you at least do it Monday through Friday, diet right, Monday through Friday, you exercise at least 30 minutes a day, you have a morning routine that involves journaling, that involves meditation, that involves some form of stillness, also exercise, you will see that you're going to attack your day. Oh, and don't forget that cold shower. You're going to attack your day in a way that's just going to be filled with so much energy that it's going to shock you. I hope this was helpful. If it was, make sure you hit that like button, and you got 2 jobs. 1, I want you to be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you. Now go after it.